Hey guys, Mike here. In this video, I'm going to explain how arcade mode scoring works. And by the end of this video, you should know how arcade scoring works minus accolades. Accolades is a whole nother can of worms. I'm not going to include it in this video, but you will know how the majority of your score is scored in arcade mode. So just watch the whole video, okay? Okay, so how scoring works is this number here. This is your like base score, if you want to think of it like that. This is the score that you will get before accolades. Accolades are like the bonuses you get, like the bronze, silver, gold medals that you get for doing various things in the level. For example, like do a parry 10 times or do a precision dodge 10 times, whatever, right? All right, so this number is your score, essentially. You can think of it that way. So right now I'm just starting, it's at 0. So the first important thing is that battle techniques that don't do damage do not give you any score. They give you 0 score. 0. Only battle techniques, things that appear over here, like those little blue, cyan, green, rainbow rank things over here that do damage will increase the score. All right. So that's one way to increase the score is the battle techniques. The second way to increase the score is just damage. All right. So let's show an example here. All right. Precision dodge. I dodged that bullet that came in here. And you can see the score did not go up any. Like I said earlier, precision dodges, parries, stomps, just any battle technique that doesn't do damage will not increase this number and therefore will not increase your score. Okay, so that's another precision dodge here, times 2. Cyan still doesn't give any points, okay? All right, let's look at here. I hit this guy with a sword, and I'm not sure if you can see that number here. But that number, you have to trust me, it says 746. All right, that's 746 damage I did to this dude here. And you can see that number appears right here, 746. So again, your score is sum of all the damage that you do to all the enemies. Now that has important implications too, because there's only a finite amount of enemy HP in the whole level, right? Because there's only 10 enemies here. I think the second wave has another 10 enemies, and then there's one final Panther boss, right? So the total HP is going to be constant, and that's everybody's going to have to do that amount of HP damage. So that will be like your flat base. That's the lowest possible score you can get. Like say if you just attacked everyone with a sword attack and did not do any battle techniques whatsoever, which I think is impossible, I'm not sure, but you will get that base score, which is just the total HP damage that you do. All right, so I hit that guy with my first hit on the combo attack and did another 746 damage. And just to prove it to you, I'm going to calculate it for you right now. So 746 plus 746 equals 1492. What did we get here? Oh, wow, that's our score, 1492. So again, it's just the damage that you do to the enemies. All right, so I'm going to explain the battle techniques, and I have a perfect example to show you. I'm going to play a very short clip. This is the third wave of enemies, and the third wave is just Panther boss. And I want you to watch the clip first so you know what I'm going to explain. So let's just watch what I want to show you first. All right, that's what I wanted to show you. I did a Rook's Gambit on the Panther, and I got a Gambit counter. All right, so let's rewind it back a little bit. All right, so you can see my score right here is 605, 673, and you can see Shiva and Torgal are actually attacking him. They actually don't do any HP damage to the boss, so therefore they're not increasing your score, and they're actually not doing anything. If anything, they're just getting in the way of your view, so you might make a mistake because you can't see an attack coming or something. But that's for whatever. So here's the start of the Rook's Gambit, and I'm just gonna play it frame by frame for a little bit so you can kind of see what's going on. All right, so we know Rook's Gambit, it hits the enemy tons of times. And you can't see these numbers here, but there's tiny numbers that are appearing, which are the tiny hits that the Rook's Gambit attack does. It's 273, and it's just adding up, right? It's just doing all that damage. 273, 273, 273, 273. And you can see the score is going up. So that score is going up in accordance with this damage that's being dealt, right? So there's one important thing I want to show. So I'm just going to keep playing frame by frame here until I get to the point that I want to show here. All right, so this is the frame right before what I want to show. It's so my score is at 616,998. All right, so when I hit the next frame, watch what happens. Remember, my score is 616,998. All right, my score jumped up to 636,998. So the 998 is the same, so we know it went up by some thousand, right? So it went up by 20,000 points. So it went from 616 to 636. That's 20,000 points. And that makes sense because if I go a couple of frames, you'll see why that happened. And the reason that happened is because of right here, the Gambit counter. That's a green 1-star battle technique, right? And everyone knows green 1-star battle techniques are 20,000 points, and that all checks out. So 16,000 up to 36,000. So you can see how your score is increasing throughout the battle. Again, to reiterate, it's the total damage that you're doing to the enemies, right? All these damage numbers are all getting totaled up and added to this score. And it's also the battle techniques here that are being added to this score, right? So like this Gambit counter was 20,000, so this added another 20,000. And again, remember the rule I said in the beginning. If a battle technique does not do any damage, then it will not add any score to this score right here. So the last thing I want to show is what happens when it's all said and done, right? Let's just go to the end of the battle. So I'm at 1,072,000, right? 74,000. The 1,074,000. That number should appear on the final battle screen. I might have missed a number just because it was so fast. All right, so I couldn't catch it because it was still adding damage, and then it killed it, and then it just ended the battle, right? So and then it ended at 1,108,000. All right, probably because it was adding a few more battle techniques. So that essentially this number that was over here is this number here, total score that appears here, and you can see it just went up a little bit. And that's because of the accolades. And here's the great mystery that everybody's going to try and figure out now is how these accolades add into this total score. So these accolades gave me about 100,000 points, maybe 170,000 more points. And it's the reason it's so hard to figure out what the points are from the accolades and why I'm not gonna cover it in this video is because you don't know which accolades gave how many points, and they don't tell you, which is really annoying, right? So I don't know if this gold accolade here gave like the lion's share of the points, the bonus points that added to my total score, or was it this one, or was it the silver one? Maybe it was this bronze one that gave most of the points. So like we don't even know. I mean, you would think the gold ones give more accolade bonus points that added to this total score. I mean, you would think that, but we have no way of knowing. And the only way to do it is like single variable testing, where like you try to only get one accolade and see how much that accolade added to your total score. But that's gonna be such a pain in the ass to test. And honestly, Yoshi P and the developers of CBU3 just tell us how many points each accolade gives us. This is so dumb. That's the basics of how your score is calculated in arcade mode. I hope that video helped you, and thanks for watching.